What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Fantasy Football Game Show brought to you by Front Yard Fantasy here on Better Sports Network. I'm your host, Simon, joined by my active mouth co-hosts, Joey Wright and John Luke Garofalo. And joining us today, we have our great friend, Mauricio Gutiérrez. Mauricio, thank you so much for taking the time to come and hang out with us.
Amigos, ¿cómo están? How are you guys? So happy to be with you again, ready to play some game and to win it all. Hopefully.
Mauricio's trying to hold on to his rare winning record here. He is 2-1 on the Fantasy Football Game Show. So as the people in the chat are pointing out, we got Scott Fish in here saying Mauricio's record on this game show is that he has never lost an episode, as his mere presence is a win for everyone involved. His humor, his energy, his passion, and most of all, kindness is a shining example for us all. Viva Mauricio. I love you, man. From Scott
I love you
Fish.
too, Scott. You're too kind. I love you, man.
And Jay said it best. No lies detected in there.
None at all.
Well, you got that endorsement from Scott Fish, but I'm going to give it one as well. If you guys aren't already following our guest Mauricio, you need to go and fix that right now. You can find him on Twitter at @MGutierrezNFL. He is a fantasy football analyst for NFL Fantasy and Espanol and NFL Mexico, and the founder of Estadio Fantasy. So make sure you check him out and check out the sick work they're doing over there. We got Dustin in the chat coming in with a hashtag Team Joey.
I'm playing today. I'm playing. Let's go.
Dame with a hey, FYF. What's up, Dame?
Yo.
Dame.
Scamper says, it's Wednesday, my dudes. What's up? Excited to see Mauricio here.
Amigo, how are you?
We've got Emma in the chat stopping by. What's up, Emma? And she saved the show today. She's
the savior of the show. I'm using her computer because mine died yesterday.
Hit the Fritz, but Emma stepping in to save the day. We got Albert stopping by as well, saying hello, everyone. What's up, Albert? Welcome in, my friend. Well, guys, today we brought Mauricio here to play a game we call Poll Perception. Before we get into that, though, a couple reminders. First and foremost, if you're not already following our guest Mauricio on Twitter, you need to remedy that right now. He's at MGutierrezNFL. It's right there below his handsome face on the screen. You can also find it in the description of this YouTube video wherever you're watching. Wherever you are watching, whether it's on Front Yard Fantasy or Better Sports Network, hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell is the easiest way to make sure that you never miss us live every day at 3 p.m. Sometimes JL just goes live with his dog and then deletes the video immediately after. And if you don't have that notification bell on, you would miss the random JL Rosie Snuggle sessions that get streamed for about 30 seconds once a month.
I do record all of them, and I sell them for $5 on my personal eBay account.
So either hit the notification bell or Venmo Joey $5, and he'll have those videos in your inbox.
Hope you have a VHS player.
We got Craig stopping by saying on the road from St. Louis, but hello and good luck, everyone. Thanks for stopping by, Craig, and drive safely. No texting and driving.
Get some toasted raviolis.
Some toastiolis? Is that a thing in St. Louis?
It is a thing in St. Louis, yeah.
Okay.
I was only there for one single day for a job interview. I went walking all around St. Louis because someone told me that I need to go get some toasted raviolis. Turns out that whole city is not open on Monday nights.
One of those cities where it just closes. I've had a similar thing happen in Cincinnati where I was like, hey, let's go out. Huh. Everything's closed and it's 11 p.m.
Nobody lives there.
I swear some cities just pretend. They're not actually real cities. It's just a bunch of people playing city. St. Louis, Cincinnati. I'm sure there's others.
Ohio.
Ohio.
Ohio isn't open any day of the week.
Columbus, Ohio. Maybe it's just all cities in Ohio and ones that start with C.
I think Cleveland also on Mondays is like
dead.
Open. Yeah.
Chattanooga, the city that we all love. That
Dallas
city,
Cowboys quarterback Chattanooga,
the city of the Dallas Cowboys quarterback. Well, guys, we're going to get into a game of poll perception here. John Luke is going to be running it. I'm going to be going against Joey and Mauricio head to head. But first, I got to explain how this works and hand it off to John Luke. If you've never played with us before, welcome. Welcome to Poll Perception. It's our first game that we ever started playing here, and it's the one that tests our contestants' understanding of the public perception around the NFL and fantasy football players. Who's in tune with what the people are thinking right now? Before the show, JL found 7 juicy, succulent, delicious, interesting polls online that he's going to pose to our contestants one at a time. If I'm up first, he may ask me, hey, Simon, what percentage of people prefer side A, Saquon Barkley, over side B, DeAndre Hopkins in redraft? I'm going to give a percentage, the percentage that I think chose side A. The closer I am, the more points I'm going to get. A max of 10 if I'm exactly right. 1 if I'm 15 away. It scales up within there. Now, before the answer is revealed, my two opponents would have the opportunity to guess whether the actual answer is over or under the line that I've set. If you're correct on that, you're going to get 2 points for correctly picking the over-under. We'll go through 6 polls like this, each of us getting 2 of our own before we go into our 7th and final poll. In this poll, there's no more over-under nonsense. We're all just going to be writing down the percentage that we think chose side A. Whoever's closest is getting 5. Unless they get it exactly right, there's still 10 points available for that. The person with the most points and the least Mountain Dew at the end of this game is our poll perception champion.
I don't have a cup.
It made a lot more noise than I thought. I just wanted to pour it in the cup.
Joey, that was like some ASMR,
so sorry.
like YouTube, like soda can ASMR.
Is this a sponsorship or something like that?
I'm just afraid I'm going to
Sponsored by
spill
soda cans.
something on my computer.
It's the Dew. I don't even know Mountain Dew's slogan.
It's
What is
the
it?
Dew.
It's the Dew. That's the best I can come up with.
It'll lower your sperm count, which is a true fact. It actually will.
Mountain Dew. Screw them
It's
kids.
just the name.
Random facts in Front Yard Fantasy.
Yeah.
We have a fact in the chat as well before we get into our
Oh.
game here. Jay said, little known fact, Gutierrez is a pen name. His actual name is Mauricio Felicio.
Or Jay's Gutierrez?
You
I don't
guys
know.
just
We're
switched for your pen
primos.
names.
We can be primos forever. Yeah.
I like Jay Gutierrez better.
There's probably thousands of them too out there just hanging out.
All right. Well, John Lukey, you got the game today. Them's are the rules. What order are we playing in?
All right, the order today will be Joey, followed by Mauricio, followed by Simeon.
Cool.
And when do I go?
You are last when I said your name,
Okay.
Simeon.
Simeon.
You missed that. You must have missed that. It was, I'll say
It's
it
the
like I said, it
Maryland,
was
it's,
Simeon.
it's the Maryland accent. Sorry, I just had a hard time understanding through it.
Yeah, I get that a lot. Here's a scoreboard. All right, so, Joe, the first poll is yours. Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
Here you go. Who would you rather start this week? Joshua Dobbs or Joe Burrow? What percentage of the public chose Joshua Dobbs in this poll?
Oh,
No, Joshua
I mean,
Dobbs has looked really good.
Maybe.
He's looked good this season. Arizona wants to win games. Joe Burrow has looked really bad, but Joe Burrow has a really good matchup. I believe against the Cardinals. Am I wrong on that? They
You're
play
right.
each other, don't they?
They do.
Yep.
Yeah. I still think Joe Burrow is going to win this poll. I'm going to go 25% Joshua Dobbs.
25%, locking that in?
Wait, can I be a little more mischievous about this? I'm going to go 30%.
30%.
Yeah.
What a mischievous number.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very mischievous.
Very mischievous. All right, Mauricio. Joey locked in 30% on side A of this poll. He thinks 30% of people chose Joshua Dobbs in this poll. Do you think the actual percentage was over, under, or exactly even with Joey's guess of 30%?
I'm going with over because the people that has Joey Burrow in their fantasy football teams, they're suffering a lot, and they will prefer Joshua Dobbs. I'm going with the over, 30%.
Going with the over. All right, Simon, your options are the same. Over, under, or exactly even with Joey's guess of 30%.
I'm with Mauricio here. I think there's going to be a bit of an emotional response, and it doesn't have to be an emotional response either. If you pull up the game logs for both of these players through 4 weeks, it says pick Joshua Dobbs. So I'm going to say over as well.
All right, both of you taking the over. Joey coming out of the gate with the reverse split the room. I like it.
Yeah. I would just like for people, if they're going to vote for Joshua Dobbs, provide the receipt. Show me that you actually did it. Because it's one thing to click on Twitter, and there's another thing to actually do it.
To
That's
actually
true.
start him. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. All right, we got a couple guesses here in the chat. We got 61% from Dame, 69% from Scampers. So high, way higher than 30%. Far higher. And I see some guesses coming in the chat. We're going to hit those right in between rounds. So just stay put. We will get to them. All right, let me pull this poll back up. That's not it. Joey, you said 30% of people chose Joshua Dobbs as the quarterback they would rather start this week over Joe Burrow. Both Mauricio and Simon chose the over on that guess, and the actual percentage was 76%.
Ooh.
76% of people are starting Joshua
Yeah.
Dobbs over Joe Burrow this
But
week.
they're not. But they're not
Joey,
actually doing it.
Joey, the problem with your logic, though, is the vast majority of people that you're calling out will never even have to put their money where
That's a
their mouth
good
is
point.
because they won't have the access to one or both of these players. So they, you're allowed to just mouth off here and never have to prove it. Joe Burrow's rostered in my league.
I feel like you should have a special Twitter. Elon, get on this. You should only be allowed to vote on polls like this if you manage the two players. Nobody else's opinions matter.
So you're asking Elon to go in there and build out an integration that somehow cross-references
Please.
all of these
Yes.
platforms. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That makes sense.
Got to be doing something there.
Connects with the IPAs of all fantasy football platforms,
you.
and
and then have
That's
full
great.
coverage, even the lesser known ones.
I don't think I'm asking for a lot. I really don't.
Just use
Good luck with
ChatGPT.
NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Would you guys
Yeah,
prefer Joshua Dobbs over Joe Burrow this week?
I'll do it.
No.
I'll do it as well. Yeah.
I'm legitimately concerned about that offense now lacking T. Higgins with the way we saw them use Joe Burrow last week. Joe Burrow's inability to throw the ball downfield, and now we take T. Higgins away from him. I know it's the Cardinals, but I'm nervous. And this Cardinals team, like you said, they want to win, and they've shown that. And Joshua Dobbs is building that chemistry out. I'll take the guy who scored more than 20 fantasy points 3 out of 4 weeks so far this season.
Last week it was a more favorable matchup for Joe Burrow than this week,
Yeah.
and he couldn't do it. Yeah, I'm really scared.
So you're scared. Do you think Joe Burrow's able to put things back on track at some point in the season, Mauricio? Or would you be sounding the alarm on all the other players on that offense, like Jamar Chase and Joe Mixon?
I think
other
he's going to be good eventually. I don't know how many weeks it's going to take him to be on the same or even like 50% of the level that we are seeing right now. But yeah, I think eventually he's going to be a top 12 QB in fantasy football. And I'm not afraid of Jamar Chase, but I'm afraid that he's not going to be able to put like big numbers to have two top 12, top 15 wide receivers over and over a week.
Right. That was like why we drafted them so high, both of those players, right?
Yeah.
I see Scampers coming in, calling you out, Joey, saying, I'm starting Dobbs over Burrow this week in my main dynasty. Let's see the screenshots, Scampers.
Bring me the screenshot.
Send it to Joey. All right. Well, that's going to bring the score to 2-2. Mauricio and Simon
0. Please
to
say
0.
my score.
Sorry.
Thank
Settle.
Joey has settled.
Nada, nothing, zilch,
Settle.
zero.
Ghost.
Miedo. Like Penta and George
I have
Kittle.
no fear. Seattle
Cero
Miedo. Let's go.
And we had some questions in the chat before we get on to our next poll, but I may have lost them. Where'd they go? Here we go. One from Chris. He said, bench 1, PPR league, Christian Watson, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, or Puka Nakua. Which of these guys are you benching, Mauricio?
Yikes.
I will bench Garrett Wilson. I mean, I don't buy what we saw about Zach Wilson last week. I think it's going to be an exception of his numbers over the season. So I'll bench Garrett Wilson.
This is tough.
It is.
This is really tough. It's between Garrett Wilson and Christian Watson for me, but man, they both have good matchups. Like I'm excited about both of the matchups for them. I think I'll bench Christian Watson here and roll with Zach Wilson continuing what he did in this Denver Broncos defense, just continuing to be unable to stop opposing quarterbacks.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that one, Simon.
Close, though.
It's a matchup thing for me. I would bench Watson.
Damn. Man, that's a good position to be in, though, Chris. Those are good players. Sometimes people are coming in like, for the love of God, make me start one of these players. And you're like, I got 5 wide receiver 2 or better type players. Who should I bench?
I'm gonna rebuttal it though. What if Cooper Kupp starts this week? Does that change your thoughts on Puka at all? Or are you still putting him in there?
First week back, I'm still going to put him in there.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think I am much more pessimistic about Puka Nacua than consensus rest of season. We see Matthew Stafford time and time again latch on to a single receiver and over target the hell out of them. It's been Cooper Kupp. Puka Nacua is doing it right now, but I'm not convinced that when Cooper Kupp comes back, it's not going to be straight back to 11.8 targets a game for Cooper Kupp. And Nacua will be good, but we're talking wide receiver 3. I think we could get a drop off that big. So maybe that's too pessimistic, but week 1, I'm starting them, and then I'm out as a weekly must start on Nacua.
Do you agree with them, Mauricio? Or you where do you land on that Puka Nacua hype train?
Me too. I think that when Cooper Kupp comes back at 100%, I think we can expect Puka Nacua to deliver wide receiver 3 numbers. So I think it's the last week that you can sell Puka Nacua for the hype and all that. People that are thinking that he could be a wide receiver 2, a mid wide receiver 2, you can sell it right now.
And Joey, we got a question from Scott Fish in here for you. He said, have you seen his latest DM and have you checked out his tool?
Yes, I have checked out your tool. Please turn the camera this way next time.
The orientation is not correct. And we got a question from Eric in here. What up, Eric? Said full PPR, sit 2. Alexander Madison, Damian Pierce, Christian Kirk, Marquise Brown, or Michael Thomas. Which 2 of these guys are you sitting?
Mamma mia.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Really tough
It's
one.
not an option.
I know one I'm sitting, that's Damian Pierce. His matchup this week is just dreadful, and I don't want to start him.
Maybe Michael Thomas.
It hurts my heart to say.
Your face is struggling saying that, Joey.
But I'm honest, I hate the matchup for him.
You have to be.
Say it to his face, Joey.
I would never.
Never your Damian Pierce shirt.
I agree with Damian Pierce, and probably the other one is Michael Thomas, concerning about Derek Carr injury.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Derek Carr injury, the matchup going against New England.
Right.
Yeah, this feels like it doesn't feel like the type of environment or the type of uncertainty you want to be dealing with from a player like Michael Thomas.
And Madison go ahead, Sam.
I was just going to say, I'm not hyped about Madison this week. But I still think he's startable. But going against Kansas City, I expect Kansas City to be ahead. I think Minnesota's good, but I think this is a game where Kansas City is going to get out big, and that's not a Madison-friendly game script.
Yeah. Well, Madison, doesn't have anybody playing behind him. He's probably going to get all the time. Yes.
Suck it, Cam.
And Chris,
Cam, I'm sure you're a great guy.
I'm sure you are. Before we get into our next poll here, we got a question. One more last question here from Chris. He said, y'all think Jonathan Taylor plays? I have Moss. He's been good for me since I lost Chubb. What do you think, Mauricio? You think Jonathan Taylor is going to play here in week 5?
I have to be honest. I really don't know. I don't have a clue. We haven't heard anything about Jonathan Taylor aside that he's going to be active from POP list. But we haven't heard anything from Jonathan Taylor. If he's going to hold out, he's going to be able to play. He wants to play for the Colts. We haven't heard nothing about that. So I don't know if he's going to be active at week 5. I think he's not going to be.
Was it Shane Steichen came out and said Jonathan Taylor was super excited to be back out there on the field with his teammates, and that just sounds like something a coach says out loud whenever asked about it. No, Jonathan Taylor is trying not to lose more money before he can get his ass off that team, I think is what's going on.
Yeah.
45 days ago, he said, I do not want to play for the Indianapolis Colts ever again.
And now he's super excited, according to Shane.
Yeah.
Something happened in between. We don't know.
Probably.
Yeah, right.
He saw Anthony Richardson out there, and he was like, ooh, maybe I do want to play for this team.
Seriously.
Not kidding.
Yeah.
Well, could be.
And Herms in here said, hello, FYFM. Hola, Mauricio. And one last question. I lied about that being the last question. One last one. We got Smokey the Cat in here. So what's up, guys? Wires Droy. Who for this week?
Bad waiver wire week.
Very bad. You picking up Schultz, Conklin, Dawson Knox, or Gray this week?
Noah Gray.
Noah Gray.
Not Noah Gray.
Yeah.
So
Not
I
the
just
color
said his
Gray.
name out loud, but I'm not picking up Noah Gray. That's for sure. Probably plugging my nose and picking up Schultz.
Yeah, for me, it's Schultz. The more tape we get on CJ Stroud, I think CJ Stroud is going to start to need to lean on Dalton Schultz. It's something that I thought was going to happen early in the season, and it just hasn't really yet. But rookie quarterbacks with an established tight end that we know is a good red zone threat, I think Schultz could really come on rest of the season. I really do.
Yeah, I agree. Totally. Go Dalton Schultz.
All right, let's get into our next poll. The score is 0 by Joey to 2-2. This next poll, this next poll is yours, Mauricio.
Come on, let's go.
All right, who do you want rest of season?
Me.
Puka Nacua or Cooper Cup? What percentage
Ah.
of the public chose Puka Nacua in
It's
this
a
poll?
tricky one. Man, this is tough. Mucho difícil. Oh, man.
I'm
Rest of
definitely
the
going to
season,
clip that
Puka
and make that a
Nacua,
little soundbite.
Cooper,
Tricky one.
Cooper Cup. Oh, man. I'm going to say, does the community already forgot about Cooper Cup and how ridiculous good he is? I don't think so. I really don't think so.
This is your question, Mauricio.
I know. I'm thinking out loud. I'm going with 37%.
37%?
Yeah, for Puka Nacua.
Final answer?
Yeah, final answer.
All right, 37% is locked in. Simon was the actual percentage who chose side A in this poll. Over, under, or exactly even with Mauricio's guess of 37%.
Man, once the season starts, and especially with a guy that you picked up off the waiver, there's this attachment that occurs, right? There's this like, no, he's going to be good forever. I found the secret player. I found the winning recipe. I'm the smartest. And now we've got like 4 weeks of this building on each other.
The first 4 weeks.
The first 4 weeks. I think it's going to be more people that have forgotten about Cooper Cup than should have.
Wow.
So I'm going to take the over on Mauricio's guess.
Taking the over?
Yeah.
Locking that in?
Psychology. Locking that in.
All right, locked in. Joey, your options are the same. Do you think the actual percentage of people who chose side A was over, under, or exactly even with Mauricio's guess of 37%?
I think the people remember Cooper Cup. Maybe I'm giving the people too much credit.
This is the
Mauricio is
how
a
much
really
credit
good
we
guess.
give them.
Yeah. I'm gonna go under. Mauricio's gonna split the room. Yeah, I'm gonna go under.
If it's over, the people are dumb. If it's under, the people are smart. This is your moment, people.
People, this is
Shine,
it.
people.
This is what you were built for.
This is the moment all people have been waiting for.
We got some guesses here in the chat. We got Dick Sickles in here guessing 63% on the Puka Nacua side, which is side A. We got 35% from Herms, 22% from the Scammers, and we got 41% from Albert. And Jerry said Cooper's injuries scare him.
That's true.
That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I would not want those injuries.
I'm scared of clowns.
Super basic.
Not
Very common.
Needles here.
Not
right,
like clowns with makeup. People that are just not,
Just
Clowns without makeup.
Foolish people.
It's when they're out of costume that I'm really scared of them. Anyone could be a clown.
They camouflage with the rest of us.
You never know where they are.
Yeah.
Joey's always looking around, like looking at people's feet.
Yeah. Are you a clown?
But yeah, well, in this scenario, like their shoe size doesn't change though. That's the one thing they can't swap out to fool you.
No.
Did you see the size of that guy's feet? Yeah, Joey, that was Shaq.
Guy's 20 Dockers. He's
Shaq
definitely
the
a
clown.
Is that what he's doing now after he's done DJing? He's got a clowning business set up. Yo, can you imagine ordering a birthday party clown and Shaq shows up?
Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be so awesome. This is not at all what I ordered. Ever. It's way better.
I'm not sure there's ever been a clown outfit made that could fit on him. Like, do you think they've ever made a clown outfit that big in the history of the world?
Oh, yeah. That's why Guinness Book of World Records exists.
You're right. Someone's done it.
Someone's done it. All right.
Wow.
Mauricio, you guessed 37% of people
Yep.
chose side A in this poll. Simon guessed the over. Joey, you guessed the under. You think less
Yeah,
people chose
I
side
do.
A. The actual percentage of people was
37.
3-5 straight vibing.
Oh,
Mauricio,
That's
2
for
percentage
me.
points away. That's going to give you 5 points
Wow.
added to your round here. Joey correctly guessed the over under, which is going to give you 2. And Simon, you pooped the bed, buddy. 0,
7
nothing.
to 2 to 2.
7 to 2 to 2. And I
So-
believe we got it was Herms got it exactly
Yeah.
right. Let's go.
Nice job,
30.
Wow,
Herm.
nice.
Straight vibing in the chat.
Straight vibing. Joey gets
Dick
2.
Sickles said Samsonite. I was way off.
I understand everyone's.
Simon, you have 2. Joey's got 2. 7 to 2 to 2. All right. Bringing that score up. Well done. Well done, guys. We talked a lot about Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, so I don't really have any more questions about those 2 guys. Let's just get into our next poll. All right, Simon, you
Let's
ready?
do it. I'm ready.
Oh, wait, you know what? Before we do that, we have some
What?
questions in the chat that
answer
I
them.
Let's
forgot
go.
about. Let's see. We got Cam in here. What up, Cam? Said, hey, guys, is Devonta Smith, Mims Jr., and Javonte Williams a fair trade for Jamar Chase, Michael Gallup, and Dalvin Cook? Ooh, what do you guys think?
That's interesting. I
Is
was
it-
almost immediately like, give me Chase. And then I was like, ooh, like backed up a second
Yeah.
because there's I think I take the Smith and Javonte with a high upside rookie on that side that's enough for me because I'm really not as interested in Gallup or Dalvin Cook at all. It's basically for Jamar Chase. I'll take the Devonta Smith side.
If it's dynasty, I'll take the Chase side. If it's not, I'll take the DeMonte Smith side.
Yeah, totally. Dalvin Cook is losing touches with Michael Carter. Come on.
What happened?
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. And
Fall
now
off the
Brees Hall is not going to be limited at all. So I think Dalvin Cook is going to be less used than even before.
You
So
know what I
yeah,
think?
I'll take Devonta Smith, Marvin Mims, and Javonte Williams.
I think with Dalvin Cook, it's because everyone was too mean to him on the internet in the offseason. And he read too many of the comments. He's in his head. He should be hyping up these veterans when they switch teams, but instead everyone was like, washed. Who cares that he's at 1,100 yards 4 seasons in a row? And he read one too many of those, and here he is fulfilling the prophecy.
Mauricio brings up Brees Hall. Just side note, on DraftKings right now, great value on Brees Hall, and if they're unlimiting him, he's one of the lowest priced starting running backs right now to put out there in their lineups this weekend.
There you go. Big
Yeah,
Trev
fair
in here
enough.
said, need to start 2 full PPR. Tyler Boyd, Jalen Warren, Khalil Herbert,
Ferguson.
Jake
Ferguson.
Ferguson.
Thank you. Higgins or Michael Wilson. I immediately thought of ASAP Ferg and could not think of anyone else.
This is
Which of these
interesting.
2? Yeah, which of these 2 you starting?
Boyd for
really
me for
interesting.
sure.
PPR.
With T. Higgins out.
And
Yeah,
with
with
Joe
Scar
Burrow
Higgins.
limited in how far he can throw the ball, right? That opens up Boyd in the slot quite a bit. So I'm with you guys there.
So you lost
Yeah,
on
tough.
Boyd.
Really good
The other one,
last week.
I think, could be Warren. Warren has been one of the most utilized running backs by year. He's leader in targets, reception, top 5 in every single metric by year. So I think Warren could be a sneaky one.
I'll take some Thursday night points with Khalil Herbert as my second guy. I'm going to go Tyler Boyd and get my Thursday night points with Khalil Herbert against the Commanders in what I think should be a pretty low scoring game, but Herbert should get some work.
What about you, Joey?
Oh, Herbert and Boyd for me.
Herbert and Boyd. Well, I think I go Warren with you. So we'll split. Choose your favorite out of Khalil Herbert and Jalen Warren.
Get
Are we
that
to the
Boyd
point
in
we're
there.
playing Warren over Najee? In PPR, I'm there.
Close.
No.
Close? Okay.
No. Can't do it.
I have not had
I-
to make that decision on a single team because I don't have both of them, but I think I don't know. I think maybe by week 5 I'd be pulling the trigger and putting Jalen Warren in there after 4 weeks of Najee Harris.
Yeah.
We got Chief Keith in the chat said, no word on the largest clown outfit, but the largest gathering of clowns was in 1991 at Bognor Regis, UK, where 850 clowns showed up for a convention.
You know
That
what?
was almost as many people who showed up for that Rod Stewart concert
3.5 million
from yesterday's show.
Wow.
I'm shocked that the largest clown gathering was only 850
They couldn't
clowns.
even
I
hit
know.
1,000?
How come?
It's not even
I-
1,000 clowns?
Yo, we could orchestrate something better with just the fantasy community. The fantasy football community.
Come to the expo.
So,
Come to the
yeah.
expo with a clown outfit. We turned the first night into just trying to break the world record. We put out like ads in Canton as well. Get everyone there, and we break the freaking clown world record as the fantasy community. 850 is not a high number, man.
No, it's
Not at all.
No, it
Who
is
can
not.
smash
Really-
that record in no second? Yeah.
I bet
No
we could.
second. Yeah,
Mauricio,
we can-
let's I'll DM you and let's get this set up for next year. We'll lead the charge.
I love it. Can I go with a luchador mask that is actually a clown?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
100%.
Are you
There
going
you
to
go.
Psycho Clown?
Psycho clown. Yeah.
Are you going to Psycho Clown?
Yeah. Psycho
Mauricio,
clown.
you never disappoint me. I'll say that.
We got another question in here from the chat. We got, let's see, we got Cam in here saying, I'm 0-4, currently have the Smith side. Was thinking of buying low on Chase to shake things up in case the Bengals get back on track. Does that context add anything to you there for you guys on that previous combo?
I'm still taking the Smith side. I think the
Yeah.
concerns
Side,
with
yeah.
Chase are real, and you have a better chance at winning with
Yeah.
Devonta Smith right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Dalvin Cook and Michael Gallup, you're not going to use them at
Yeah,
all
cut 'em.
on the season. Like,
Or if you are, you're going to lose more.
yeah, right.
Um,
Yeah.
Chase probably can't help you. Smoky Cat in here says Brees or Gibbs this week at flex PPR. Just said Jameer Gibbs or Brees Hall. Which of these two are you starting, Mauricio?
Oh, it's a tough one. I'm going to with Brice Hall.
Going with Brees
Yeah.
Hall.
I'm with Mauricio.
I think it's going
Brees
to
for
be
me as well.
unleashed this week.
All right, let's get into our next poll. Simon, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
Whew, I'm
Will
nervous.
Jameson
Mauricio just killed that
Williams
one.
be a startable fantasy player this season? Yes or no? What percentage of the public chose yes in this poll?
How accurately did people read this poll? Like startable. Like
Can't answer that question.
Robert Woods is startable,
Is he?
right? But like no one's hyped to
Yeah.
plug him in. But like he's startable. And will Jameson Williams reach that level? I think absolutely. I think people are excited about another weapon in this offense. We've seen what Sam Laporta has been able to do. We've seen Amon-Ra St. Brown succeed here. He's got the draft capital.
Mauricio,
I think people
say
still
Sam
believe-
Lapuerta. Come on.
Sorry, Sam
Yeah,
Lapuerta is still
La
here.
Puerta.
48%
Wow.
people believe, but not half the people.
So what was your number? Are you locking in?
48. 48.
48? Final percent?
Final percent.
All right, Joey.
I think it's going to be over. I mean, I think people see this Detroit Lions offense and they want pieces of it. And if Jameson Williams is going to be the second or even third target on this team, I think that's absolute startable fantasy player. So I think it's going to be over 48%.
All right, locking in the over on Simon's guess, 48%. Mauricio, do you think the actual percentage who chose side A, yes, in this poll was over, under, or exactly even with Simon's guess of 48%?
I'm going with the over as well. Everyone wants pieces of this offense. Just I'm going to say that draft capital doesn't matter with the Lions. This is a Jameer Gibbs comment.
True.
That is very true.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Very
All right,
sad.
so we got the double over, the reverse split room for Simon's guess of 48% of people choosing side A in this poll. And we got some guesses here in the chat. We got, I think this is right, yeah, 22% from Jerry. We got 86% from Tim, 69% from Herms, and 28% from Dick Sickles in the chat. Just friendly
Wow.
reminder,
All
if
over
this
the
is your
place.
first time playing with us, play along in the chat, throw your guesses in. If you are closer than the contestants, we're going to shout you out. If you're really off, we're going to make fun of you. I'm sorry. Just prepare yourself for that. But it's all good. It's all
Makes
good
us feel
fun.
better about ourselves.
Yeah, we need it.
And that's what's important.
Yeah. All right. Let me pull this poll back up. Bop, bop, bop. Will Jameson Williams be a startable fantasy player this season? Yes or no? Simon, you guessed 48%. People chose yes. Mauricio and Joe, you chose the over. The actual percentage of people who chose side A was 49%.
Wow.
49%. Simon, you are 1 percentage point away, which is going to give you 5 points in this round. And then Joey and Mauricio, you get some points. You get some points. Everybody gets points.
All
Damn,
right.
I almost said
go.
49.
When
But I'll
I saw
take
the
it.
chat that it was like from one way to another, I thought that it was going to be like almost 50%.
Yeah,
Right there in the
and
middle.
Simon, you sniffed that one out very easily. How are you? Jameson Williams is one of those players where we've talked a ton about him, but we haven't actually seen a lot of him.
Not at
So
all.
what can people realistically expect from him in a fantasy context this season on this Browns offense, which people are generally pretty excited for? Lions. Who did I say?
Browns.
Browns. Almost the
As a
same
Browns
offense.
fan, that'd be
Almost the
sick.
same offenses.
I said people are excited about.
Yeah, that was the only reason I corrected you.
But like, if he gets traded to the Browns tomorrow, JL's going to come on here and we'll all be like, the Oracle. The hem of his garment.
Oh. Now say Patrick Mahomes to the Browns.
Simon, why'd you have to
No.
run it? Like, everything was going good. And then you just poop on it.
So
Then it
you're
got
going
awkward.
to completely ignore the actual question.
With Jameson Williams, my feelings couldn't be more neutral about what I'm expecting from him this season. I don't have high expectations, but I expect him to immediately be involved in this Lions offense. If the question is, can he be startable? Yeah, I think wide receiver 3 numbers is probably what I'm expecting from him.
Right.
Now, he's got the talent and the draft capital to have some upside that maybe some other players in the wide receiver 3 range don't have, but he's a wide receiver 3 with unknown upside coming in for me.
Mauricio, is that where you landed?
Yeah, me too. The thing for me is that like we haven't seen almost anything about Jameson Williams. The ACL, then an off season, the hamstring. He hasn't had many reps with the first team, so that's what I think he's going to be slowed down for a bit. But yeah, wide receiver 3 numbers is right.
What were you say, Joey?
Scott's talking about the 40-yard catch that he had. And Scott's kind of kidding around about it, but there's a lot of truth to it because he also had a 40-yard rush for a touchdown. So he's got big playability. I'm interested to see what happens after, because I think he's had 6 total snaps in the NFL, and 2 of them were 40-yard plays. So I'm really interested to see what happens with him.
Yeah, I'm with you. And him coming into this Dan Campbell-led offense, I think is making for a fun situation, right? I'm excited to see what that talent brings in that offense.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
We got Daniel in the chat said, "Hoyt, what up?" We got Joe in here said, "Should I flex Jahan Dotson over Khalil Herbert and Drake London half PPR?"
It's a damn good matchup for Jahan Dotson going up against that Bears defense. I'd be real tempted to do this it's not like you're too excited about the other two. It's Khalil Herbert that's tough for me. Khalil Herbert's probably safer. He's going to get the volume. Jahan Dotson's more of that high upside play for me.
Dotson's questionable too, so keep an eye on his health. But if he's healthy, I would roll Dotson out there if he's healthy.
Yeah, I'll go with Dotson if he plays. The matchup is really, really awesome.
Juicy.
Yeah.
Juicy matchups. Scott Fish said, "This is the best case, Simon. The clown community will find out about their record being broken and set up a new event to break our record, and then we'll retaliate the next year."
Can you imagine an ongoing clown record battle between actual clowns and then us clowns, the fantasy football clowns? All of a sudden, Trumbo's going to show up on the other side, like leading the charge of those clowns.
And he's going to bring his wheel. And we
Where
don't
were
want
you
that.
when Fantasy Clown Wars started? Tim may have found an instance where the record's already been broken, though. They just have to submit an application. He said, "Dude, how many clowns showed up to watch the Giants?"
All of us.
Got
Every
him.
single one of us.
Good point.
All right, let's get into our next poll here. I see some more questions coming in. We're going to answer them in between rounds, but we got a game to play.
Yeah.
Game to play.
I have a game to
Vamos.
win.
We got Mauricio, who's in the lead with 9, followed by Simon in second place with 7, and Joey bringing up the rear with 4.
Yeah.
And we were
I
going
got
into
my overs
round.
and unders right.
You did, but not much else.
Mm-mm.
All right, we're going into round 2, which means there's a new mechanic that Simon's going to introduce.
Yeah, he's a little bit sensitive and he's not great at his job yet. His name is Greg. He works at the Toyota in Des Moines, Iowa. If you go in there and he forgets to
City
put
of
the cap back
Mechanics.
on your oil after changing it, just give him a gentle nudge. He'll fix it and give you a discount. There's no need to yell at him. He's trying his best. Now, we also have a new rule that we're introducing at this point in the game. Instead of just over, under, and queen B, you can now choose way over or way under as well. What this means is you think that your opponent's guess is more than 15 percentage points away. So it has to be at least 16 percentage points away from the guess. Now, if you guess way over and they're, say, only 14 percentage points over, you're going to get 0 points. But if it is, in fact, way over, you will get 4. It is a double or nothing mechanic. So use those at your own, whatever the word in this phrase is that I've forgotten that comes after that. And
Pancakes.
use this at your own pancakes.
Mhm.
But your opponent's guesses are going to have to be really bad in order for it to come in handy.
All right, Joey, we're going into your second
Yes.
poll. You ready?
I'm ready. So let's go throw it right at me and hit me in my face with it.
Watch out. Here it comes. On a per
Whoa.
game basis and half PPR. For the rest of the season, Jerome Ford will be A, not a top 24 running back, B, 18 to 24 running back, C, running backs 11 to 17, or D, a top 10 running back. What percentage of the public chose A, not a top 24 running back in this poll?
Just give me 1 second because there's 4 options.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 18%.
18%. Locking that in?
Yeah.
Okay, locked in. Mauricio, the actual percentage over, under, way under, or exactly even with Joey's guess of 18% on side A.
I'm going with over. I think the community is really scared about what Kareem Hunt could do to this offense. So I'm going with the over.
Taking the over. All right, locking that in. Simon, your options are the same.
I'm going to be honest. I haven't thought about this for 1 second because it just occurred to me that maybe you have to be like certified to be a clown. And that was a gathering of like official clowns. And that's why the number's not very big. You know what I mean? Like maybe you have to be like a professionally certified
a
clown.
notary?
It's not just
You
like
have to
a
be like a clown
loser
notary?
with a wig and a nose on. Like I can't just show up and be counted as a clown. I haven't
Those aren't
done
amateur
anything to
clowns.
earn that title. That being said, I think Joey's going to split the room here. I'm going to take the no, wait, that's the opposite of what I think because I think people think he's bad.
Man, parking at that clown convention was probably super easy.
Oh yeah, there was only like 6
That was
cars in
good.
the entire parking lot.
That was good.
I'll take the over with Mauricio. I think people are
Taking the
souring on
over.
Let's
Jerome
go.
Ford. They were excited because of that one huge play in the game where Nick Chubb went down. And then they realized that the other 15 plays that game were all below average.
All right, locking in the over.
Yes.
Okay. Mauricio and Simon locking in the double over. Joey guessing 18% of people chose side A in this poll. And we got
that was a
some
good guess.
guesses here in the chat. We got 22% from Herms, 12% from Jerry,
Oh, Jerry.
18% from Scampers. And that's it. All right. Let me pull it up. Let me pull it back up. Here we go. On a per game basis and half PPR for the rest of the season. Jerome Ford will not be a top 24 running back. The actual percentage of people who chose that option was 15%.
No!
Oh,
Stinko!
Perfect.
Stinko
Come
Joe!
on.
Well done. You were within 3 percentage points. So you're 3 percentage points away, which means you're going to get 5 points on this
Wow.
one, Joey. And you're going to keep any points from flowing to your opponents here.
We were the clowns, Simon.
I felt
we
We're
were
the
the
clowns.
clowns in this one.
Yeah, we got
The clowns all
848 to go.
Wow.
Man, Joey, that's going to bring you right back into this game, bringing you up tied here with Mauricio 9-9-7.
Don't call it a comeback. I'm not sure I'm going to be here tomorrow.
Please don't
Is
call
that
it
how
a
it goes?
comeback. My feelings will be hurt. Well done. All right, we got some questions here in the chat. We're running low on time, so we'll just go right into these. Jesus Christ of the league asked
Welcome
Christian
in.
Kirk, Portland Sutton, and Jordan. Oh gosh, let me restart this.
You're
Because my
flustered
brain
because
just
Jesus.
The
was
power of
not-
Christ compels you.
Oh,
The power of
Christian
Christ
Kirk.
compels you.
Christian Kirk, Cortland Sutton, Jordan Addison on the waivers. Which one should I pick up? He's feeling Addison, but who knows? What are you guys thinking? Which of these three are you picking up?
Yeah, Addison feels crazy, but based on the recent leg of work, I'd be tempted by Kirk. I'm going Addison, though. That's the one I feel safest with his role. Kirk, we saw that he can be kind of a afterthought in this offense. Now, the last 3 weeks have been great, but I feel more comfortable with Addison.
I'm with that. Yeah, Jordan Addison is the one I prefer from 3.
Joey?
I would pick up Christian Kirk. I've been pretty on board that I'm really big on Christian Kirk this season.
I'm glad someone said it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gone in this offense, and I don't think this offense is gone. I think they're going to be right back this week, including – listen, the Jaguars have been there for an entire week, and the Bills are just now getting over there. So that whole like jet lag thing's not going to happen with Jacksonville this week. I think they could have a big game against the Bills.
Don't you think that Christian Kirk is on his ceiling in participation and production, probably?
Right now, that's exactly what I'm thinking, Mauricio. Like, I feel like somewhere between week 1 and then these 3 weeks with a fully healthy Zay Jones is probably where we end up rest of season, which is a good fantasy player, but I'm expecting more week 1s mixed in there where Zay Jones is the second option and it's not Christian Kirk. I don't think he has that job on lock.
I'd be semi-interested in Cortland Sutton, too.
Mm-hmm.
Semi-interested there.
Yeah, who else you got on your bench, Jesus? Maybe you could drop 2 guys.
Yeah.
Get rid of,
We got Chris in here asking, would you trade CD for Josh Jacobs 1-for-1? What do you guys think? I keep CD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want CD.
Yeah, me too.
Give me CD Lamb.
And Scott Fish, I think Mauricio needs to queen murder Hornet sometime in this round if someone else tries to queen B.
What's the
Keep
Queen
that in
Murder
mind.
Hornet?
I don't know. It
Only
sounds
you
like
and Scott know.
Okay.
It sounds like
I need to
nightmare.
talk with Scott right now.
All right, let's get into our next poll. This one is for you, Mauricio. You ready?
I'm ready. Vamos.
All right.
Come on.
Pick one. You have to vote. Oops, sorry, that's the wrong one. Running back 1 in Dynasty is a lock, Bijan. But who's your Dynasty running back 2? Breece Hall, CMC, Jahmyr Gibbs, or Jonathan Taylor? What percentage of the public chose Breece Hall? Clearly, Bijan is the one,
Between
guys.
4 options. Oh, this is going to be way low or way high. Man, this is tough. You're stepping out your game with this pulse, right? Man. I'm going to say Breece Hall 13%.
13%. You don't want that in?
No, sorry, 17%.
17%.
That's a lot. Yeah, 17. Yeah.
And you locking that bad boy in. And all right, 17% from Mauricio here. Simon, you think the actual percentage who chose Breece Hall in this poll was over, under, way under, exactly even with Mauricio's guess of 17%?
The question is just how many people are going to vote Christian McCaffrey. Like, it's high up there. I know he's old, but he seems so much better for your fantasy teams than the young options in the league right now that I feel like he's still going to get a significant chunk of this. And people are too icked out by the Jonathan Taylor situation right now. I think it's a good guess. I'm gonna queen B it, Mauricio. I think you're right on the money with that one. I'm taking the queen B. I couldn't decide over under, so we're gonna try to hit it for the first time ever on the Fantasy Football Game Show.
All right, locking in a queen B.
Scott, I need to know what's a Queen Bee Hornet
Queen
is.
Hornet.
Hurry, Scott, it's time, and I don't know.
Tell us what it is. Come on. Should I?
He went 17.
You went 17%, Joey. So your
17.
options are over, under, way under, or exactly even with that.
I'm going to go over because I don't want to steal Simon's spotlight if he nails this Queen Bee. I feel like that should be a rule. But yeah,
That's a good
I do think
rule.
it's a bit over, though.
All right, locking in the over.
Always too kind, Joey.
And we got a couple of guesses here in the chat. 21% from Scampers. Dick Sickles with 32%. And we're going to go right into the answer here. The actual percentage of people who chose Breece Hall in this poll was 26%.
Damn it.
Mauricio, you
Wow.
were 9 percentage points away, which is going to give you 3 points here. Joey, you correctly guessed the over/under, which is going to give you 2 points, keeping you in this game. Whoops, the wrong ones there. And Simon, nothing.
Yeah.
Shame.
Yeah.
Just shame.
My hole grows. Crazy.
Gonna bring the score
Hole
to
grows.
11
11?
to 12 to 7.
Wow.
Yikes. Also, I see Scott Fish and you're explaining it, saying calling
Yeah.
Queen Murder Hornet means if you call it and Simon is wrong, he has to get in a room with a hive of murder hornets. Which
Sounds
is
fun.
like my
Wow.
worst fear, because the only thing scarier than needles is flying needles, which is what bees are.
With a temper.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Emotional flying needles is what a
Ooh.
room of hornets
Good
is.
team name. Emotional
Good
flying
band.
needles.
Emotional flying needles.
Good afternoon, Montgomery. This is Emotional Flying Needles.
Woo!
You're the only one in the crowd.
The other one fan in Montgomery.
Yeah.
Did you see me
And they
flash my
and
boobies?
Joey flashes every week.
Yeah.
All right, well, we got a game here.
Oh,
We got a game. Anybody can still win. And we are going into Simon's last poll here, the penultimate poll. You ready?
I'm ready. And Herms, count me in to be the electric bass player in that band.
The
Cool.
electric bass player. Thank you for specifying.
Well, a band like that could have a stand-up bass player.
I guess they could, yeah. All right, Simon, here's your poll. Pick one. You have to vote. You have to. Daniel Jones, Mac Jones, Desmond Ridder, or Kenny Pickett. You have to pick one and you have to vote. What percentage of the public chose Daniel Jones in this poll? And remember, you have to vote. What do you think, Simon?
Honestly, it should be 100%. And I know he's looked really bad this year. I'm not kidding. He's looked bad this year, but I believe down to the bottom of my spirit that Daniel Jones is the best quarterback on this list. He's playing behind an offensive line that is acting like it's their job to get him murdered. Like they've been hired on a hit to take Daniel Jones out of this season. That's how
Can you
bad it
imagine?
looks back there.
It's Sean Payton.
When he gets that coverage, though, Daniel Jones looks all right. We've seen him be a good quarterback. God, but people are so sour on him right now. We've seen some just Daniel Jones humiliation early in the season. But what he has going for him is Mac Jones has also looked terrible the last couple of weeks. Desmond Ridder has never once looked good since he's left Cincinnati. And Kenny Pickett is the punching bag of the NFL fandom. They just like to hate on him for being a bad quarterback. I'll say this is going to be pretty high. 58%. But who's going to realistically vote on the other ones? 64%.
64%. Locking that in.
67%.
67%.
Lock it in.
Locked in. 67% of people chose Daniel Jones as the option they'd pick here.
It doesn't feel high.
Joey, do you think the actual percentage chose Daniel Jones was over, under, way under, or exactly even with Simon's guess of 67%?
I agree that Daniel Jones is going to win this. I just 2/3 of a poll with 4 options just seems like a high percentage. I'm going to go under just because of math.
Kenny Pickett doesn't count as a whole option.
Oh,
and Desmond Ridder is?
Yeah, we got enough
Get wrecked.
deniability there. He's on the Falcons.
You know, I think Mac Jones might actually pull some percentage here.
Yeah.
And I think so. I'm going to go under. Yeah.
Under. All right. Locking in the under. Mauricio, your options are the same.
Oh, man. I think this is the answer for win it all. I'm going with the over. I think Daniel Jones is going to be like 70%, Mac Jones the other 30%, and the other one's going to be 0-0.
All right.
I'm going with the over.
All right. Locking in the over on Simon's guess of 67%. And we had some guesses here in the chat. 72% from Jerry, 61% from Scampers, 70% from Herms, 85% from Alizar in the chat. So they're right up there with you, Simon. Let me pull this poll back up. Bop, bop, bop. All right, Simon, you get 67% of people chose side A. in this poll. And then you split the room. But the actual percentage was 44%.
Wow.
Damn it.
You dumbass.
Wow.
44%. So Simon, you
What's
were
up with
fortunately
people?
outside of the 15 band here, 15-point band. So you're going to get no points on this. Joey, you correctly guessed the over-under. So you're going to get 2 points.
Damn it. That puts Joey.
And that's the
6 ahead of me.
game.
No.
Yes.
As we go into our final poll,
No.
which we're going to go right into contestants. If you have something to write your guess down on, this round is going to work a little differently than previous rounds. All the contestants are going to write down their percentage guess for this last poll. Whoever's the closest is going to get 5 points. If any contestants share an answer, they're going to share the same fate, either points or no points.
The same fate or the same bait?
Both. They have to share
Okay.
everything for the rest of their
They have
life.
to share everything that rhymes with 8.
I can share with you guys.
Anything so
I'm
kind
okay
of
with
you.
that. Yeah.
God, of course
Let's
you'd
go.
say that. All right. You have your writers?
Yep.
Got them.
Yeah.
All right, here's
Ready?
your last poll. Do you think Taylor Swift plays fantasy football? Yes? No? What percentage of the public chose yes? They do think Taylor Swift plays fantasy football. Go ahead and write down your guesses, contestants.
Can I sing my answer?
You can sing it.
I feel like you're going to do it either way.
Yeah, you're
man.
exactly correct, JL. I'm gonna sing it either way.
So I'm not going to answer.
What percentage of analysts or people voting on this are openly misogynistic and click no without thinking about it? Is what I'm trying to determine. And then
Nah,
what percentage of people
Oh.
who thought critically about it put it elsewhere?
For me, it's like I don't know much about Taylor Swift. She was into NFL before all this stuff, but not that much.
She's an
Tough to
Eagles
tell.
fan.
Yeah. Okay.
She's an Eagles fan. Yeah,
There you go.
she's talked about it before.
All right, contestants, you have your guesses?
Yep.
Yes, I did.
My brother knows me so well. I don't know about you. I'm feeling 22. There you go.
Mine's also a multiple of 11.
Wow.
33.
Okay, Simon 33,
Mine
22
is
from Joey, and 30.
Oh, you
Oh,
stinker!
Oh no!
No.
Ah, box them in. We got some guesses here in the chat. We got 3% from Herms, 3% from Dick Sickles, 29% from Scampers, 23% from Jerry, 87% from Grim, and 5% from Tim.
Wow.
That
87
rhymes.
Travis Kelce number.
87 Travis
Good one.
Kelce number. Do you think Taylor Swift plays fantasy football? Yes or no? The actual percentage was 14%. Joey, you're going to get 5 points on this one and win this
14%
game
only.
18-12-7. Well
Wow.
done.
You know, she just might be too busy. That's maybe the
That's what I
busiest
was
person
thinking.
in
She
the
don't have time to
world.
play fantasy football.
She's so busy.
She's
Yeah.
drinking in
I was-
airports.
I was going to write down like 10 or 11%, but after Joey responded my question about if she was into the NFL just before all this, I changed it and I put it a higher number.
Joey, gotcha.
I got him. I got him.
Yeah.
Head.
Joey with a
I
score
can't
of
trust you anymore,
18.
Joey Wright.
Never should have to begin
Mauricio's
with.
only sharing his things that rhyme with 8 with me, Joey. You're not welcome
Aha.
to share those things anymore. Congrats on the dub, Joey. 18-12-7. My paltry 7 points sitting down there at the bottom. Mauricio, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come and play some games with us today, my friend.
Amigos, thank you very much. Muchas gracias. It was a pleasure as always.
Always.
Hope it's not the last time this season, and see you guys soon. Really, really
Bring-
love you guys.
Bring your lovely wife next time.
Yeah,
play some,
that would
like,
be
we'll
that would be
do
awesome.
Teams.
To
And
play a
she'll be
team.
on my team.
And everybody, bring your clown outfits to the expo next year
Please.
because we are setting a clown world record. Until tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time, we are out of here. Go follow Mauricio on Twitter at @MGutierrez NFL. Then go make sure your lineups are set going in tomorrow, and then go to bed. You need your sleep. Enjoy your
8 hours.
Wednesday. Adios, everybody. It is Wednesday, right, guys?
Champagne.
No, it's not.
Oh, shit.